I'm going to bring out one of my corgi co-hosts for the Canine Quickness episode of Express Lane. So welcome back, friends, and say hi to Galahad. He wanted to say hi to our next runner, which is going to be Galahad. It's going to be Kitsune Tales Kitty present by Debonair VT. So hello, friend. How are you? Good. How are you? Oh. All right, so while we're fixing some last minute tech weirdness, just want to remind everybody that FYI, Black and Flash is a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels. They host special events throughout the year to raise money for charity and celebrate Black voices in the speedrunning scene. So if you want to learn more about Black and Flash or just apply to get involved, head to gdq.gg/BAF and feel free to follow blackandflash.bsky.social on Blue Sky for all your awesome latest updates. And I think that is just enough time for tech to untech itself. So hello again, Debonair.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, I've come back from the gremlin realm this time. My name is... Hey, excellent. Yes. My name is Debonair VT, but you can all call me Bo. And today we're going to be playing Kiri % in Kitsune Tales. I am joined, as always, by the lovely Rally. Rally, how are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy to join you in another trip through this wonderful little game.
Excellent. Well, I am also excited. So we have a couple of things to go over before we get into the game chat. It's going to be pretty quick, but the first one is we're specifically picking Out for a Leisurely Stroll as our difficulty. And the second thing is we're going to be kind of manipulating some stuff in the game by changing our magic postcard. It is, in fact, magical. And we'll explain why these things are important as we get into the game. Towards the end of the run, there are going to be 2 points for audience participation. So as we get closer, Rally and I will remind y'all, but we are going to need your help. It's for the good of the run. You'll know what to do. So I think with that, we're good to get going here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So the very first thing we're going to do, because this is a Kiri run, is say goodbye to Yuzu. We're not going to be playing her until the very end of the game, and even then, it's only going to be a little bit. So everybody say hello to Kiri. Kiri is Kiri. The fun orange fox here. She has some special powers that we'll talk about in a little bit. But the biggest difference between Kiri and Yuzu is that Kiri has a sword, which is a pretty unique ability to have in a Mario-style platformer like this. In this little cave here, the game would normally teach us about all of the other things that Kiri can do, but I've played the game before, so I'm not gonna go look at those. But Rally, if you want to explain what all Kiri can do that's special, that would be great.
I'd love to. Kiri has the same basic moveset as Yuzu, which if you've ever played any of the Mario 3, Mario World era of platformers, then you're probably familiar with that core is. But on top of that, Kiri has the ability to slide on the ground to accelerate her movement. She can wall jump from one wall to an opposite wall. She has a ground break, where she can break blocks beneath her. And she has a unique ability called Refresh. And what Refresh is, and we're going to be seeing a lot of it throughout the run, is Kiri's sword is basically like this game's version of the cape attack or the raccoon tail whip. And, it lets her kind of, hit enemies in front of her. But when she's in the air, if she hits an enemy, instead of them being hazards, what they do is they allow her to access all of her movement abilities again. So Refresh is Kiri's ability to get all of her air jump and all of her movement abilities back just by routing and targeting enemies and hitting them with the sword. What you can see here is one of the other movement abilities we're going to be using a lot of in the beginning of the run. It's called, there's a slope jump, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of that before we get to some of the later levels. And what a slope jump is, if you don't mind if I just kind of go along and just...
Keep going. I'm digging this.
All right, yeah. So what we do is we have a slope jump, and when you crouch on a slope, Kiri begins to accelerate. And if you jump at the end of the slope and you don't hold the forward button, if you're familiar with how Quake or Team Fortress rocket jumping works, where you don't want to hold the forward button, you retain your momentum, and that gives us access to really like high bursts of speeds, which we can retain by staying airborne as much as possible. So later on, we're going to get access to some more sword techniques, which are going to expand our moveset. But before we get there, I just missed that one.
Yeah, just really, really close.
Yeah. Before we get there, we're going to be taking advantage of a lot of slope jumping to build a lot of acceleration and try to retain that momentum as long as possible. Here we're in one of the first ghost houses in the game, and the way this game is kind of set up is in the middle of every world there's going to be a ghost house like this, where ghosts work a little bit different in Kitsune Tales from the archetype that you expect. If you look at them, they still come after you. They're reactive to light, and this will be important later on in the run. They become intangible when they're in an orange light, and they stop chasing you, and that's the only way to get them to stop chasing you. But now I think I'm going to let Bo narrate a little bit so we get back into this introductory section.
Yeah, thank you for that. So there are a couple of other fun things that we can do with the lamp that we'll see a little bit later. But one of the important ones we saw during that first area, and that is that they can reveal invisible things like doors. So we're going to be using that to our advantage a couple of times later on in the run, and it does become important for one ghost house in particular, which is it plays with that mechanic in a super neat way. So I'm excited to show that off when we get there. But for the time being, you'll notice that I'm jumping into a lot of enemies and spikes and things, and that when I do, I'm popping back up kind of like right where I was, but on a Lakitu cloud. And that is the result of the difficulty that we're playing on. And that's part of why it's important that we select that. A lot of the upward momentum in this game is hard to come by until we've acquired our ability with Kiri from World 3. Just barely missed that. So in order to go upward very quickly, in order to ascend vertically, it's far quicker to just hop on a little taxi that lets us move wherever we want to at a constant speed. So we hug some bad guys every now and again just to give ourselves a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, there's generally we like to say that there are two kinds of clouds. There's good clouds and bad clouds, and good clouds are, as Bo said, they're helpful clouds that let us strategically, usually take a lot of advantage of vertical movement. But bad clouds, which are the ones that we want to avoid, but they're still helpful in a way. And as we saw there, one of the neat things about running Kitsune Tales is all of the speed tech, all of the little tricks, all of the really difficult stuff you can go for in every run, because if you get like, say, 80% of that big slope jump, but you kind of miss the end and you don't kind of hop across the gap, you still get the take advantage of the 80% that you did get. And then if you die, you come back on the bad cloud, which is still a time loss, but, relative to the time you save from attempting all the trick, it means you get to go for all the cool stuff all the time. And your run improves as you kind of hit a higher consistency going for all the tricks. So we're going to see a couple good clouds, and hopefully won't see as many bad clouds this run.
Yeah, the goal is to try to not get bad clouds, but if we get them, it's not the end of the world. So Kiri has a couple of other abilities. I don't know if we mentioned the slide and the wall kicks, but she has a slide and she can do wall kicks. The slide is really fun because in general it gives us a lot of early momentum. So you'll see me sliding basically every time we come out of a door. And it gives us a little bit of speed as long as we're not underwater. But when we are underwater, it moves us at the same velocity that we would be moving at if we did it on land. So we can kind of bypass a lot of the water slowdown as long as we can touch the bottom. We will eventually get access to an ability that lets us move even faster horizontally through water, but that won't be until a little bit of the way through World 2, which we are headed to right now. But first, we need to meet up with a friend. So I need everybody to say hello to Monty. This is our friend
Hi,
Monty.
Hi, Monty.
Mr. Montgomery. And we'll explain why he's named Monty at a later date. But he'll be important in a little bit.
Well, that date's today, but the time's coming up quick. So.
Yes. Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, there's one of the little quirks to doing a slide jump is Kiri has all of her air movement, but if you jump while crouching, you're sort of committed to the crouch. So it's sort of a trade-off between having access to everything or doing the crouch jump. And as you can see there, if you kind of crouch jump into a pit, you're just like, well, that's a bad cloud.
Mm-hmm. You can, like, after you initiate a slope jump, you can stand up again. I just find it easier to keep holding down because a lot of the time what we do is we'll start sliding down one slope, do a jump to reach another slope, and then we want to like be sliding right away when we hit that slope. So it ends up just being easier to hold down, but it does unfortunately mean you don't have access to your sword, you don't have access to much, and that can get a little scary sometimes. So there, towards the end of this 2-2 stage, you saw the other important change that wow, the dogs are being extremely nice today. I guess the dog, the singular one has. So towards the end of that level, the other very important thing about the difficulty that we're playing on is that you are allowed to use power-ups in the middle of stages. And we're going to be taking advantage of that pretty frequently in this run. It lets us equip an extra life so we can damage boost, but when we don't want to have a cloud like we did just there, it lets us use Power Fox or a star power to kind of dodge a really scary section of enemies and things like that. So it's basically always useful for us to have access to that. That was extremely rude, mister. So 2-3 here is a pretty straightforward level. Ideally, what we would want to do is get a slope jump that carries us all the way to the end here. But it's a little tough sometimes because as you saw, those Kappa will give you the hands. Literally, They will grab you and drag you into whatever is below them. Usually spikes in water. Sometimes there's no spikes, but it's still water. Sometimes it's lava, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah, they do try to get in our way, and I guess today they've getting a little bit lucky. But nice. Here we see the second ghost house, and we could see a lot more of our friends, the ghosts. Now here, what Bo is going to do is take advantage of a trick where if you get pressed into the wall, you can get your cloud, but you can kind of ride inside the collision of the wall, so you can skip a lot of the platforming sections. And the cloud's on a pretty tight timer, so Bo has the route timed pretty tightly to hit this first cycle through the whole thing. And we'll get through here, and there's going to be a big run up to the top, and then we're going to pop out right at the end.
Nice. Yeah, if you those cycles are very tight. Getting crunched into the wall so that the game doesn't soft lock, it kind of just gives you no clip, which is extremely helpful. But all of the cycles in that room are very, very tight, and if you miss time getting smushed into the wall, you will fall. The game does try to prevent you from getting squished because it assumes, as most games would, that getting squished is not the thing that you're trying to do. So if you're even a little bit slow, it will kind of just push you out so you don't get squished, which then of course makes you fall down and you lose a bunch of time. And so we don't want to do that. That's slow.
So here we're fighting, our first time fighting our mentor, Aaron. Aaron is Kiri's sword instructor, and if you play the game for yourself, you can see that Kiri's in a bit of trouble, and Aaron's been instructed to come and apprehend her. And whenever Aaron meets Kiri, she says, "I have to take you in, I have to stop you here. I'm going to be using a new move. Watch carefully, you won't want to miss it." Which means in the middle of every level, Kiri will learn a new move from her sword instructor. And in the first encounter, we learned It's called Blade Dash, and it is a forward-moving sword strike that you can do in the air. So, as part of our big set of movement abilities, Kiri now has an air dash.
Yep. Which we use heavily. I think that's probably the most used, the most usability for the run.
Yeah, it's one of the two abilities we'll get that form sort of the bread and butter of our movement in the game.
Yep, and it'll get its first couple uses here. Oh.
Ooh, nice.
They were feisty. But yes, it's got an advancing hitbox. It keeps you safe for a little bit. You can use it in the air. You can use it after you've hit an enemy with it in the air. It does everything. It does your taxes. It ties your shoes. 10 out of 10.
Yep. Yeah, and hitting an enemy, like everything else, like with your air jump, you do get your air dash back. So you can choose your options. Route to hit something, jump, and then you get your dash back and you save it for the right time. So as long as, you're turning hazards into sort of movement opportunities, and that's where a lot of sort of the free-form movement of the game comes from.
Yeah, if you can think it, you can do it, as long as there's an enemy there. There's a couple stages as we get further into the game that really open up and give you a ton of freedom to really freestyle and kind of clear it in whichever way you think would be the most fun. So hopefully we put on a good show when we reach those. But they'll the whole run has quite a lot of you can ad lib, you can do whatever you want. Kiri just has so much power. She's such a powerful creature. She can do everything.
Yep, there are obstacles, but she does not care.
Yes.
Love it.
This level is fairly scripted, so if there are any announcements or anything you need to read out, now would be a great time to do so.
I mean, really, for all of you watching right now, if you want to catch up on all the past Hotfix shows, special events, we had Flame Fatales recently, and other GDQ marathons, you should be heading over to youtube.com/gamesdonequick after the show. Stay here. Watch later. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello from the past. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with GDQ. And heck, just head on over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick and watch us live. And you can interact with us and the awesome chat that I have been seeing chatting so far. So, yeah.
Yeah, chat have been heroes tonight for sure. Definitely get 100%.
In here. It is legit good chat. So, chat, so give yourself some GGs and love.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all deserve it.
Oh.
He decided no, actually.
Yeah, he juked you today. So.
He went from no to I must go, my people need me.
Yeah. It does happen like that sometimes. So that was the first boss of the game. Each of these worlds is going to have one. The general gist of the storyline here is that someone who should not have been locked in the elemental prison got locked in the elemental prison, and it may be partially Kiri's fault. Maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
A little bit. So we obviously want to help this person who shouldn't be stuck in there. But Kiri is, how did you describe her, Rally?
She is
adjacent to manners. Is that it?
Yeah, she's adjacent to good manners.
Yes.
So she has kind of her own approach to handling the diplomacy of the key holders who can help get this person out of the elemental prison. They have, ceremony and procedure and everything. And Kiri's kind of in a hurry, and she has a sword, so,
Love it.
This is the first of two more times that we'll talk to Monty, and you may realize that what you just saw was the Monty Hall problem as a minigame, and you'll also probably know that I did it wrong. But we got the item we wanted, so was it really wrong? Yeah, so basically when we set up our magic postcard at before the run even started, when we set all of those numbers to 1, we kind of created or loaded a mini game cache, some kind of, a layer that basically just says that everything is always going to be in the same place. So as long as we always put all 1s in there, that cloud will always be in that door if that is the door that you choose first. And similarly, we will be doing this again in World 5, but we will be doing the Monty Hall problem the correct way, which is to say, you're supposed to swap doors because Monty knows where the thing is, but you don't know where the thing is. And so it increases your odds. But we know where the thing is, so we don't have to even play Monty's game, and we can just take the clouds that we want instead, which is very nice. Also, it's incredibly fun to explain the Monty Hall problem while doing a speedrun. It is genuinely one of my favorite things about this category.
Fair.
Yeah. There was an older route where the items we needed can be purchased from a shop there's a sort of like a 3D in-game town where you can buy items, and we'd have to route to get 999 coins. But since Bo discovered how to sort of manipulate Monty Hall and his funny doors, then it saves a lot of time because you don't have to get all those coins, and you can get the items you need through Mr. Hall.
I will also, disclaimer, I do not know why it works the way that it does. I just know that it does work. So if anybody wants to mess with magic postcard numbers and tell me what you find, I'm all ears. I will happily take any research y'all want to do. But yeah, we're now in the World 3 Ghost House, and as you can see, we now have a cute little snorkel, and we have changed from orange fox to green fox. So this is your standard swimming suit. It lets us maneuver very, very well through the water, and this stage is a huge up and down level where basically we need to get all the way to the bottom to grab a lantern and then take it all the way back up to the top so that we can reveal a hidden door. If we were to lose this suit at any point during this stage, we lose between 20 seconds and like a minute. It's really bad. You don't want to lose that in there. It's rough. But we got through there. So now our goal is to try to keep it while fighting this mini boss so that we can use it for another level or two going forward.
Yes.
This mini boss learns a new move as well, so we have to be a little careful, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, in that previous section, sometimes you forget that when you have the lantern, the ghosts can't hurt you, but the fish are still there, and that can be real time loss. The arrogance of the fish. And now here we are fighting our instructor Erin again, and she's confronted us here in the water world, and again she's she attempts to show us a new move, but after you get access to the first move, Blade Dash, if you get into a certain proximity and perform the move, you're performing it the same way she did, so you move in the same direction as her at the same speed, and she can't hit you. And Bo does a little bit of AI manipulation. Ooh, very good dogs today.
Yeah, I'm stoked about these fellas. They're being great.
So now we have access to the second half of our bread and butter, which is Rising Strike. It's sort of a DP style move that moves you up in the air. So now we have a forward moving move, an up air moving move, and by hitting anything, we get access to both of those back, and you can kind of see how you can kind of build a picture of what Kiri's capable of, and just sort of freestyling her way through these levels in ways that maybe she's not supposed to, but kind of feels like it anyway.
Every time I see this game, like the graphics are, I'm blown away. Like I'm just kind of vibing here with what I'm seeing. Don't mind me.
Oh yeah, no. You're dead on. Everything in this game is gorgeous. One of my favorite things about it is how it looks. It is, it's so charming on basically every level. Okay, well, we now have a little ways to go before this suit becomes not useful to us anymore. We want to get through this first screen here basically as quickly as we can. We're going to be doing a bit of a climb on the other side of this, and in order to do that, we're going to be taking a little damage and dying as well. Oh, no, I want to go the other way. No, the other way. There we go.
There we go.
So this is going to be the first of a couple of neat levels where our goal is just to ascend as quickly as possible. So we're going to be just trying to use all of our movement together. That was really clean. We didn't have to die either, which is lovely. We want to use basically everything that we have. So we want to use the the upward slash to get us up a little further, the wall kicks to propel us even farther up, etc., etc. Moving in this game is just so cool. Okay, chat room, we are approaching your mandated hydration break. You're gonna have about 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
Yep, it's just the water levels mandatory. Get a sip of water, stay hydrated.
Yep, everybody get your water.
I've got my water.
Make sure you're all good to go. We've got a couple seconds still. Don't worry, I'm playing the game for real. Okay, we made it. Excellent job, everybody. And now we're moving on to the World 3 boss, which is another very cool fight casually that you are not going to experience because we have a sword.
Yep, the boss has one way of trying to fight you, but Kiri has a sword, so she sort of just cuts to the chase.
You will notice a theme a lot of the times when we say that something is really cool, it immediately becomes invalidated because Kiri has a sword. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the category. It's it's accurate for basically every situation.
The game's fun, but Kiri's a little bit more fun.
I love Kiri. She's the best. Okay, so now we're into World 4. World 4 is the ice world. There are actually ice physics and things that you have to care about, or we would, except, say it with me, everybody, Kiri has a sword. That's right. We don't have to be on the ground a lot because we can just keep refreshing our horizontal movement option in the air as long as we can find enemies to do so. So
this is another one of these vertical climb sections. Like we mentioned earlier, how we said that using the good cloud is a little bit faster than moving vertically. These levels are an exception, and they're a really good showcase of Kiri's movement and just what she can kind of do, and like hitting a really good ascent on these levels just looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
what we made.
Wild watching.
Yeah, that was a clean one.
And now for my favorite level in the game. It's not my favorite level in the game.
Yeah, Kiri's sword cannot carve a path through this level other than the one that is designated for her. And I know that Bo has been trying everything and looking for everything, just trying to find a way to save a couple frames or skip some of this, but they cannot. This is one funny little goblin puzzle that has kept Kiri in check. And if you are interested in this game at all and you want to pick it up, if you can find a way to save time on this level, then I think I would definitely like to hear about it. Because,
I will forever be in your debt if you can break that level. 4-3 is my white whale. I need to find a way to deal with it, and I cannot. Oh, the dogs. This has been phenomenal dog luck.
I think we must be getting that corgi dog power.
That's gotta be it.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember when I said that we were going to be seeing a level that plays with the lamps in a really cool way? This is it.
Yeah. So the way this level works is, you see there's two halves of it. One half is pitch black, and the other one has sort of a map of where everything is. All the blocks on one side correspond to the other side. So this level's sort of a moving platform block jumping puzzle where you have to look to the right while controlling to the left. And in the first playthrough, you play as that funny purple fox we saw at the beginning who does not have a sword, and she has to navigate this normally, but Kiri, in her infinite wisdom, brought a sword, so she can kind of wall jump and fly up a lot of it, but it is still dark, and you do still have to look at the other side of the screen.
Yeah, the Yuzi route does use the cloud a decent bit because there are a couple of skeletons in there. But for Kiri, it is actually just faster to try to ascend by doing all of the sword stuff basically all the time.
That was an impressive ascent.
Thank you. That level is very fun to execute when you have a sword. It's really difficult when you don't.
Fair.
Yep, now here we see our instructor Erin again, and she's going to give us a new move, which is dive kick. So this one doesn't get used quite as much as the air dash or the DP, but it's still really useful. You can descend quickly underwater, and you can touch the ground again if you're doing a lot of your like flying aerial movement. There's a couple spots where dive kicking to get back to the ground quickly will save you a couple frames. So it's useful, but it's not exactly part of the bread and butter.
Okay. We should be all good to get through here now. So this 4-5 is pretty neat, but it is a lot of up and down, and they kind of want you to really navigate the water as well as possible. So for us, that means we're not going to navigate the water because that's slow, and we are instead going to just take those very nice shortcuts that they gave us that only required one hit. Very, very cool.
Yeah, one of the, I think it's one of the differences we hadn't really touched on at all is the way Kiri works compared to the Purple Fox is Purple Fox starts off a level and she could take 2 hits. Kiri starts and she can only take 1 hit. But if she finds an onigiri, then her little fox carries it, and that's how she can take 2 hits. But here we have been challenged to a race by a friendly ghost. And this ghost, you know, in the interest of fairness, we've decided that the ghost is intangible, but we're not. So we're going to take advantage of this clipping into the wall from being squished like we did way back in that other ghost house. And we're going to become intangible as well. So it's not cheating, it's evening the odds.
Yeah, we're just making it fair.
What we could do...
That's valid.
So what we do is we actually get ahead of... the auto scroller and just say GG's.
Nice.
Yeah, just skip the auto scroller by going through it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It saves 20 seconds also, which is really handy. And you can do it with both foxes. You can do it with Purple Fox and Orange Fox. So 40 seconds of time save over the course of the run. Pretty good.
Yeah. So this level is. Normally, it's meant to be the superstar run where you kind of get there's invincibility power-ups in all of the boxes. And normally on the first playthrough, you have to go through and hit all the invincibilities and time everything just right. But Kiri having the ability to fly means that she is able to... Oh, it was beautifully done. Just go through the whole...
I finally got it.
Yeah, you just go through the whole course, and you don't need to engage with the invincibility at all. You actually get an achievement if you can find a way to beat that level without using invincibility. And, you know, I'm going to give you a little hint, but you can also find your own route through there.
There's plenty of ways to do it. That is another one of those stages that really... Hello? She wasn't thrilled with that attempt at hitting her there, but that's okay. So that was the World 4 boss. There are more mechanics than just the bacon, but you won't see them here. And now we are on to World 5. This is the air world, and when we fight Aaron in this stage, we will be getting probably the coolest move in the game. I think it's the coolest move in the game.
Yeah, it's sort of the capstone to the moveset, and it definitely just opens up a whole lot of movement. But right now, we're going to take a couple good clouds, and we're going to hit some pretty tight timings again to try to skip a vertical ascent so we don't get bonked by these floating platforms.
I didn't trust that. I didn't hit it where I wanted it. But we're all good.
It's really tight, so.
Okay, we're gonna try the last real slope jump of the run here. Oh, we hit the bug. Nope, unfortunate.
Oh.
So there's an extremely tight spacing there. Basically, you want to do a short little jump like we did in the beginning. That part went very well, but the problem is we also have to not touch that bug because jumping off of the enemy, what we want to do is we want to just tap jump off of the ground, but tap jumping off of an enemy doesn't quite go as high, so we don't quite make that platform. But so this is another stage that is it is fairly choreographed, but it is a great example of this is one of those stages where like, hey, what can you visualize yourself doing with this character? You can probably do it.
Yeah, normally there's a flock of cranes and you have to ride on their back, but either fox, I think, are able to just kind of get ahead of the cranes and just finish this level. It was really well done.
Thank you. Yeah, if Yuzu has the double jump, the wingsuit, then she can also skip all that.
Yeah, but there's enough enemies here where you can link your movement together and, find your route, get your refreshes, and just make your way through.
And now we're going to do nothing for like a minute or so. So this is also a great time for anything if you have it.
Well, I am fresh out of notifications, but yeah, just to remind everybody, if like you've seen some really cool emotes and whatnot, by all means, we love, thank you for your support. If you are subbed already to the channel, subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, bits, they all go and benefit Hotfix and all of the amazing shows that you see here, Express Lane right now, Hidden Heroes earlier on, and all the other shows during the rest of the week. So yeah, if you can do ad-free viewing, get your exclusive emotes, and just general access to those replays. So if worse comes to worse, it never hurts to stream or to share the Games Done Quick channel with friends and family, because again, we appreciate your support and we love getting to showcase runners and commentators like this wonderful duo here for this amazing run of Kitsune Tales. So yeah.
Thank you.
Ah, you're too kind.
Well, right there, I just saw a great showcase. So yeah. It's been a banger of a showcase.
Yeah, that was a really nice route through that half of the level too.
Thank you. Yeah, so we discovered that recently. You had the idea to try to do that without a cloud, but the route we used to do took the cloud through both sides. So we would take it through the first half, which you saw, but then we would also keep riding it through the second half, which we don't have to do anymore because Kiri has a sword, which means we can really just hop through basically everything, chain all of our cool abilities together, and it ends up saving 2 or 3 seconds, I think, over just riding the cloud.
Yeah, making that section work depends on, if you look in the top right, we have the P speed is our key speed, and if you have maximum key speed, you move a bit faster both on the ground and in the air. So if we get and maintain that key speed in the beginning, then you can kind of float through the air and you get enough momentum that you could make a really important jump at the end, and that sort of makes the route possible.
Yep. Without that, we would not be able to do it, and we would just have to take the cloud, which does thankfully work. But that is, we do have to take the cloud for, we have to take the cloud when we do this for Yuzu, because she does not have a sword. Doesn't really, even the double jumps you get from the wingsuit aren't quite enough to get you to the distance that you need to clear some of those jumps. So
I feel like this.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go on. No, I was gonna pop a joke. So you first.
Okay. Well, here we're fighting Erin for. She's doing something new. She's going to teach us a power, and she's trying to demonstrate it, which she's not very successful at because it sort of sets her up, and I think we're not sure. Oh, she got you there.
She got me.
Yeah.
I moved a little early that time, so she had the beat on me.
Yeah. Normally, I think you said like you found a way to break her AI, but you don't know why it works.
Correct. Yeah. So for whatever reason, when she jumps up in the air to do the move that we're about to do, if you hit her there and then you hit her again before she fires an arrow at you, she'll just never shoot arrows again, which speeds things up. Oh, the crane!
Oh, that's never happened before.
That was so rude. Okay, yeah. So what you saw at the beginning of that was the newest ability that we have, which is called Spirit Rush. And Spirit Rush requires that you reach maximum speed, and then you have to press your special button, and it lets you pick a direction, one of any of the eight directions that you would normally be able to pick, and then you kind of do this big flying slash. It's really good, as you might imagine. It lets you move very quickly, it deals with enemies, and it was so good that it was nerfed. So the version that we have now is meant to well, it was nerfed before we got our hands on the game. I'll be clear that this was like a development thing. They made the decision that it was extremely good, and I back them on that 100%. It's very good. It's still very good, but we kind of we cheat a little bit during the animation where she would normally sheath her sword. If you press another button, then she doesn't sheath her sword, and you maintain your momentum. So it's kind of like a slope jump in your pocket. You get to basically just use it whenever you would like. And we are going to be doing that in like every stage. Basically every stage going forward is going to have a little bit of that. It's just the most efficient way to move once you have access to it. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun too.
yeah, it's a blast. So this is 5-7. This is the first of 2 tower climbs. It's the longer of the 2. The other one we don't need to use a cloud for. You technically don't need to use a cloud for this one either, but it makes it very, very consistent. And as you can see, there's just no.
This guy always tries it.
He almost had me that time. So close, so close.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah. And now
It's like
we're gonna fight my favorite boss in the game.
nice.
And it may or may not be because I found the quick kill for this boss. GG's.
GG's.
What? What?
Yep.
So when does the boss show up?
Oh, that was a proper samurai duel.
Yeah, just one stroke.
Fair
Just
enough.
one stroke. So when I found that by accident during my original casual playthrough, because I really just wanted to see if I could hit him before he attacks. Basically, as soon as he's like in line with you, he does a sword swing and does like the whole shebang. So I wanted to see if it was possible to dodge all that. That was a handy little bit of invulnerability there. That was not. And so I just kind of ran across the screen and jumped at him and did the uppercut. And that was what came out of it. What we think happens is because you hit him and he has to fall, there's no way for him to cancel that fall animation, and so he kind of just falls off the stage and hits the death plane, and then that's it. That's the whole fight. That fight is also extremely cool, but again, there's not really a way to see it when you're playing this character. So 6-2 is your classic like rising water level stage. It's the only one aside from the tower climb in this world in the game, but it's pretty neat. We can get through it in one cycle because Spirit Rush is the way that it is. But yeah, that was 6-2. 6-3 coming up is a pretty cool example of the various ways in which you can use Spirit Rush. You can use it to kind of bounce off of water. You can carry that momentum into jumping off walls. All kinds of neat stuff. So this is like
sinking really fast. So like normally you have like a slow descent there, but by spirit rushing down, you can kind of thrust into the water and just have that speed going through an otherwise slow section.
Mm-hmm. And we do try to use the dive kick in water when we can, because as you might imagine, being able to move down in very, very slow liquid is very good when the alternative is slow. No, you guys are going the wrong way. You got to come back over here.
This is one of the coolest ghost houses, I think, just as to watch. So I think I'm just going to let Bo run and let the gameplay just kind of play out. I'm just going to watch. Really nice.
Oh, that was clean.
Yeah, there's
hitting the cycles in that first screen are chef's kiss. So
yeah.
good.
There's a block in the middle where in a casual playthrough, if you do die and you respawn at the checkpoint, the block does sort of stop you from getting the one cycle. You can only get that from the beginning. So there is like we were talking about how there's multiple difficulties, and we tend to play on the easiest one because, we're taking advantage of all the tools it gives us. But there is also a challenging difficulty where, when you do die, you go back to a checkpoint and you can't use items in the middle of a level. So there's, multiple ways to play and kind of tailor the game to your preferences. But for our speedrunning purposes right now, it is fastest to just use all of those tools. Oh, that there almost got you. Oh, she's got your number in this one.
She does. She's giving me the business.
Yeah. She's showing you who the teacher still is.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, indeed. So we unfortunately weren't able to get the AI breakage this time, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is the last really big, the last big normal stage that uses, pardon me, not slope jumps, goodness gracious, Spirit Rush cancels in the this part of the game. The next one is going to be a fun boss fight, which is kind of a boss fight. It's a really unique boss fight, but it'll be at the end of this world. We are getting close to the end, chat. So remember I said before that we're going to need your help. Rude. We're going to need your help for a couple of things when we get a little further in here. So I need you to be prepared.
Oh, very rude.
This cat is giving me the business. All right.
They saw you had a good run going in there. Trying to.
Yep. Classic cats. Oh, thanks for the ride, homie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
so now
here it's close to the end. I'm gonna wreck this. I'm gonna wreck Bo's career. Let's go.
All right.
That's the last of our dogs.
Yes. So now there are just a couple of stages left. We're going to do a tower climb. We're going to cheat to get out of a level faster. And then we've got 2 bosses, and that'll be it, chat room. So we're getting close to the end here.
Feel seeing this, it's like it makes me think that instead of Kiri %, this category should be Kiri has a sword %.
You're not wrong. She does have a sword. People have been saying this. It's true.
Well, her name does mean to cut.
In this essay, Kiri will.
Yeah. In this essay, Kiri will.
Yeah.
This is why swords are better than costumes. So we're going to go for a trick at the beginning here to avoid having to bounce on these blocks all the way down, which we were able to get. There's a very easy and not super precise setup to achieve that. But basically, we can land on the very corner of that lava block so that our bounce stops, which just gives us a lot more control as we descend there.
Yeah.
And
so right here we're going to.
Yeah, keep this a secret, everybody. Don't tell anybody that this is here.
Yeah, just between us, you know.
Wow, that was such a cool level. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
amazing work. The way you handled the platforming in that last section.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like that might have been one of the better runs I've had of that level.
Yeah, keep that one under your hat.
All right,
Anyway,
so this is the last zone boss of the game.
Yep.
It's a neat little take on a boss. That guy right there. It's a neat take on the boss where basically we are fighting the army instead of just the guy. So we're able to get through that pretty quick. And you can take an SRC all the way to the end there, which is pretty neat. But we got by the sniper that time. Everybody say hello to Yuzu. She's back.
Hi, Yuzu.
So now this is the final fight in the game, chat room. So there are 2 things that are going to happen here. The first thing is we're going to be trying to hit this orb 3 times with Yuzu, and then end up next to it. We don't have to hit it a 4th time, but we do have to get close to it. After we do that, there's going to be a cutscene that we can skip. Then we're going to cheat a lot with Kiri and then hit the orb 3 more times. At the end of that, there's going to be an unskippable cutscene. And I need everybody to tell the foxes to talk faster. We've figured out that it is somehow connected to the code, and we just need to we need all of y'all's help to get them to talk fast.
The more chatters that say talk fast, the faster they talk. We don't know how it works, but it's just how it runs. So. Okay,
and now we're gonna cheat, as mentioned.
Yep, Kiri carves her own path. She decides that she's going to defeat the boss her own way. It's going to save a whole lot of time.
I've definitely heard Kiri has a sword, so.
Yes. Oh. The rocks were in an unfortunate place, but that is that. Okay, we need to spam talk faster.
Talk faster.
And time will be when we land on the mushroom's head.
Yep, talk fast, little foxes.
Riley, do you remember what our time was at STAT? Because I think
we might be beating it.
We might be beating it.
As long as they talk fast. Ready and time.
45:31. I'm gonna have to look that up, but that might be a world record.
Oh?
Yeah.
I could potentially look that up.
I don't remember. I don't remember what our other time was, but that's really exciting.
Kiri %, right?
Yeah, Kiri %. So right now, the current SR or the current speedruns.com time is actually an old time. There is a better one.
Okay.
But I haven't uploaded it yet.
Okay, yeah, because the current old time on there is 45:49.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we might have gotten a world record, so that's pretty cool.
GG's.
GG's, yeah.
GG's.
There is one more thing we need to do.
Yeah,
we have to validate the run.
Yeah.
And to do this, chat room, I need you to all get ready, okay? I need you to prepare. I need you to type, but don't press enter yet. Let's go lesbians in your chat box. You will know when to press enter. We will all be saying it, but if you look really closely in the top left of the screen, you'll see that chat is on the roof.
Oh.
You being all sneaky up there? Hold. Almost time. Let's go lesbians.
Let's go lesbians.
GG's everybody. That was Kiri %. Potentially a new record. I feel kind of bad that I don't know what the record is right now since it's mine, but you know, it is what it is.
It was a great run regardless.
Yeah, that was really solid. We had a lot of very good stages and not a lot of bad clouds, which was always good to have. So
Agreed.
But yeah, that was Kiri %, and that was Kitsune Tales. This game is awesome. There's an entire other half of the game that we did not showcase tonight, where you play as the purple fox on her quest for more mushrooms, as you can see there. And it's there's a story that spans both acts of the game that's fully voice acted. It is absolutely worth your time and energy to take this through a casual playthrough. As you saw from this run, even if you're dying a lot in the middle of stages, you can kind of just get up and keep going. So like, it is extremely accessible. Anybody can play it. You should definitely, and I think it's on sale right now, right, Relly?
Yeah, it's I think it's 30% off right now. So if you want to join in, try out the speedrun route. It's really accessible. So the next crown could be yours.
Yeah. I guess shout-outs make sense. So first of all, thanks for having us on. It's super awesome to be back on Hotfix. The last time I was on here was the non-binary People's Day celebration, and I'm just so stoked that this run was able to get back on to show off to more people. So thanks y'all for having us. Of course, big shout outs to the Rowdy Boys and the Binary Breakers, who I know are hanging out in chat tonight.
Breakers mentioned.
Yes. Yeah. Breakers mentioned.
Breakers mentioned. And I play a lot of this game over on twitch.tv/debonairvt, same way that you see it on screen. A couple nights a week. We primarily do Kiri %, but since we're coming up towards the end of the year, I have started working on a full any % route. So we're doing both purple and orange foxes. So if you're interested in seeing more of this game or some other speedruns of fun platforming games, definitely come through and check me out. If you want to keep up with when I'm going live and or get photobombed by cute bunnies every now and again, I'm also on Blue Sky, same spelling of the name and everything like that. So hopefully I'll catch some of y'all over there. Raleigh, do you have anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out the usual friends, all my shout out the Rowdy Boys, shout out all my friends at the garden, shout out all my friends anywhere else, anyone who's kind of checked in on us, helped us out, just kind of been there along the way. And I'd like to, thank you for having me along for this this ride. It's been a pleasure to commentate it with you and just to watch the run kind of develop over time with you. It's just been such a fun journey. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming along. This is our 12th marathon, I think, since we started last year. Yeah, so we've been making it around. So hopefully the trend continues and Kitsune Tales keeps showing up at marathons. So yeah, I think that does it for us, Asuka. So if you've got anything else, go for it.
Yeah, just again, chat GG's for that absolutely wonderful run, and fingers crossed that you have updated your world record. Fingers crossed. I always love to see that.
That'd be cool.
Agreed. But with that, we have one more run, but we're going to take one more hydration break before we come back to Dust and Elysian Tale. So sit tight and you'll get more Express Lane.